Hey guys, Phil back here again with this time a TNA Q&A. I posted a Q&A up on my Wrestling Crew page and a few people answered it, so I'm going to try my best to answer those questions. So first, William Fox asks, who do you want to win the Bound for Glory series, and also who do you think will win? Well, I think that I want AJ Styles and Samoa Joe to win, or one of the two, because AJ Styles is he's one of the best wrestlers in the on the TNA roster, and he's the best. He was always one of my favourite wrestlers. He's actually my first favourite wrestler ever since I first watched TNA, because of his athleticism his athleticism really, and Samoa Joe because he deserves another title run. Another title run, since his first one in 2008 was a bit of a fail. So I think Samoa Joe should probably win, since he's quite deserving. But that being said, he needs to get more fit, because if you compare his matches 2005 and 2010, you can notice quite a difference, because Samoa Joe in 2005, he moved like a cat, and that's what made him so different and so entertaining and so I've forgotten the word now, but so different really. While in 2010, he's kind of just a powerhouse, where he's heavy and he's kind of quick, but he's not as quick. But he needs to get back into that 2005 shape, which he had the match with Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles, and I think he'd be a lot more appealing to the fans after that. As for who will win, it'll probably be James Storm. I mean, this is what everyone has been anticipating for nearly a year now, but I don't want him to win really, because that's far too predictable, since everyone can see it coming anyway. But I wouldn't really mind if he did win, because that's the best route to go in terms of booking wise. It's just that it's really predictable. Scotty Iverson Adams asks, do you think Bobby Roode will win back the titles at Hardcore Justice? I really don't know, to be honest, because it could go either way. It really depends on what TNA want to do, or what their booking direction is, because obviously it's obvious that Bobby Roode should maybe win the title back from some point between Hardcore Justice and No Surrender, to face off against the Bound for Glory series winner, James Storm, and then they can set up really with that huge big rubber match at the end at Bound for Glory series for the title. But I don't want that to happen, because again, that's too obvious, and I don't think that rubber match has to be for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. I think it could just be a feud match, just like Rock versus Cena, and then you can have Austin Aries, who could win at Hardcore Justice, facing off against the Bound for Glory series winner, potentially AJ Styles or Samoa Joe, which is why I want them to win, so they can face off against Austin Aries and have a 5-star match, probably put TNA back on the greatest match list if given the time. Do you think? He also asks, who do you see being the next TV champion? That's a tough question, because I don't give a shit about the TV title picture really, but I can picture Crimson somehow getting it, or Gunner or Kid Cash, but the TV title hasn't been defended on TV for like 5 weeks now, so I wouldn't really, because they've kind of forgotten about it with the Bound for Glory series going on, so I don't think the TV title is going to be on Impact anytime soon anyway. William Fox asks again, do you think Zema Ion is a good wrestler, and is he a title worthy? I think he's definitely got potential, and having the X Division title now is good for him because, well, he's got the wrestling ability. That's why I liked him in 2011 with his tryout match for Destination X. So I think he is a good wrestler, and he is definitely title worthy. It's sad that he's now marred forever by causing that Jesse Sorensen injury, and definitely down the line it's going to be Zema Iron versus Jesse Sorensen. But I don't really want that to happen though, because Sorensen's going to be a bit edgy being in the ring with him again. The man who almost ended his life. God, I don't really want that. I think it would be very awkward for the two wrestlers to wrestle in such a high profile match, unless Zema Iron has to train really, really hard to make sure that never happens again. And Mark Williamson asks, which X Division wrestlers do you think TNA should sign to improve the division? I think there are a lot of talents out there, definitely. For one, they should definitely look to the old faces first of all, because that's probably the easiest. Obviously, they've already signed Sonjay Dutt, which I agree with. They should also look back to P. Williams. He's one of my favourites. He was a great wrestler back in the day with his Canadian Destroyer. I remember that. Also, they could sign Loki, who's also a very good wrestler. I don't know what he's doing now. You could also sign, I don't actually know at the moment. All the indie guys have gone out of my head, but you could also sign, I guess, El Generico. That's one. El Generico. He'd make a great X Division star, because a great X Division star. He's just got that crowd pleasing presence about him, and he'd be a great addition. Because I don't really find the current X Division crop that appealing, but hopefully I can be persuaded. And finally, Ryan Leishman asks, which TNA star would be given a main event push in WWE? I'll be quite frankly honest, I think no one would. I think, knowing WWE's past treatment with TNA stars, they've usually ended up in mid-card hell or just no TV time at all. I can think of a few. There's Marcus Corvon, Christian Cage, Gail Kim. I've forgotten all of them now. Well, it's early morning. But I don't think anyone, quite frankly, I don't think anyone would. Unless you may, I think actually, well, maybe not a main event push, but definitely an upper mid-card push, and maybe a main event push later on. I'd say Samoa Joe or Matt Morgan, who has just left. But yeah, because they're both kind of fit the WWE mold of being big and, well, I wouldn't say just being big and imposing really, but at the moment I don't think any TNA star would actually make it into the WWE, not because they're talented, but it's just because WWE don't really know how to push these mid-card wrestlers. I mean, they can't even do it with their own talent at the moment. They can hardly do it with their own talent at the moment. So I don't think TNA would be any TNA wrestlers would make anything better really. I just want to swap the question round. What WWE superstar would make it into TNA as a main eventer? Well, actually no. If WWE signed back Jeff Hardy, then he would definitely get it, since he was popular in the past, but obviously they never will. If I was going to say which WWE superstar would make it into TNA, well, there'd be loads of them really. Obviously CM Punk would be the number one option, because he used to wrestle at TNA anyway, but he has a lot of heat with people backstage though, so he definitely wouldn't be the option. There was rumours about Randy Orton being in it, being signed by TNA after he got his suspension. But if I had to go with one, I'd say CM Punk would be the most amazing addition to the roster ever. Like, he's just... Oh, Christian Cage. Definitely Christian Cage, because, well, he's a TNA legend, really. Oh, thanks for that, guys. And hopefully I can do more Q&As later. I'll probably do a WWE one soon. But, yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. And make sure to subscribe and like the video. Thanks. Peace.